Denise. Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. Denise. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. I gotta say, I feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. I'm your host, Denise Salcedo, and today we got quite a bit to chat about. It's been kind of a crazy day for me too, which I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of everything that's kind of been going on today. But we do got the February 4th edition of WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage to talk about a few news bits out of both of those shows, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But really quickly, everybody, let's talk a little bit about my kick-ass shirt, everyone. So, okay, you guys all know I'm, from California, born and raised Los Angeles girl. And so I gotta tell you, I'm a mark for anything that has Los Angeles in it. And especially if you can kind of mix in wrestling and Los Angeles into it, I'm buying it. It worked. Also, I was going to turn around and show you guys the back of my shirt, but I just realized that if I turn around, you're only going to see the back of my chair. So that's not going to work. But on the back of this shirt, you can't see it. I've got the big, Stone Cold Steve Austin skull with the smoke coming out, and it's purple and yellow and Lakers colors. So anyways, speaking of my shirt, I did go to the WWE pop-up shop today, and actually I wanted to show you guys the other shirt that I got, but I've completely forgot to bring it in the room with me, and it's in the living room right now. But anyways, I did get the NWO Los Angeles t-shirt, which is pretty cool. It's just the NWO logo, and then it says Los Angeles in it. Whatever. I bought it. Very excited to wear it. I'll wear it on the next show. But either way, I went to the WWE pop-up shop in Los Angeles today. It started today, and it's going to be running through all the way till February 14th, I believe. And I'm pretty sure they only did a pop-up because it's Super Bowl weekend here, and it's going to be Super Bowl weekend in Los Angeles next week. And the NFL has the NFL experience, which I'm going to tomorrow. So it's going to be a good time this weekend. But either way, I went to the pop-up. So it took me about an hour to get there. An hour, okay? LA traffic is bad, everybody. And I got there. There's a really nice building, really nice setup, corner building. Looks really nice from the outside. But I walked in, but there was no memorabilia. So I was a little bit kind of disappointed that there wasn't much memorabilia or really anything to see. So it's mainly just merch. You can go in and you can buy merch and all of that, but that's kind of about it. But apparently, I asked the sales associates, if they were going to be bringing if they were going to be having any meet and greets or anything like that. They told me they didn't know, but they are expecting some WWE stars to pop in at some point. They just didn't tell me what date or what time, so I don't know. But either way, for you Los Angeles folks, if you guys want to pop in to the pop-up shop, it's on 700 North Fairfax. But let's go ahead and get into the show, everybody. Also, wait, one more thing. This is a huge thing that I need to talk about really quickly. All right. So today on Wrestle Talk, everybody, I have been literally reading so many comments from people putting this over. Today on Wrestle Talk, myself, Luke Owen, Ollie Davis interviewed Eddie Kingston, and so many people are writing to me that it is the best interview that they have heard. They are such big fans of it. Guys, I cannot put over that Eddie Kingston interview enough. In fact, I think that it's not your everyday interview. And by that, I mean that Eddie Kingston really, really legitimately opens up about so much, including his legit thoughts on CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. There is a lot to unpack there. And I'm telling you guys right now, check out that interview over on Wrestle Talk Podcast. Really phenomenal stuff. I think you guys are going to be very, very blown away. He also talks about Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho. It's pretty nuts. So make sure to give that a listen. I'll be cutting clips tomorrow about it because there was some really interesting stuff that came out of that. Additionally, a quick news bit. As you guys know, Eddie Kingston is injured, orbital bone fracture. He did clarify in that interview that he is technically, like personally speaking, he's ready to go and ready to be on AEW. However, AEW doctors have not yet cleared him, so he is not technically ready to appear on AEW. Like personally speaking, he is, but medically speaking, they haven't cleared him yet. So just a heads up for those of you guys who are wondering when Eddie Kingston would be returning to AEW television. On top of that, guys, let's get into the show. Please feel free to send in super chats at any point throughout the show. I do get to keep 100% of the proceeds. And on top of that, you get your question, comment, or statement read on the stream. But let's get right into it, everybody. Let's see. We got our first super chat of the day. This one is from Heidi Ho 77, who says, I've never left a negative super chat, but damn, what a boring night of wrestling. Natty versus Aaliyah and an Adam Cole promo was the highlight. So there were I'm going to get into SmackDown, guys. SmackDown was very special today. And by special, I mean that it was terrible. I feel really, really shitty having to say that because it was not a good show. And it really bums me out because I want it to be a good show. I need it to be a good show. When it's a good show, it's just better across the board. Not only for, for the business, for the company, for everything, but also for my sanity, because I'm watching these shows, I'm coming on here and I'm reviewing them. So this show was very, very rough to get to. In terms of AEW Rampage, I really loved Thunder Rosa Mercedes Martinez, mainly because of the story that we are heading with in that direction, which we'll talk about in just a second. And we'll talk about some more other items that occurred on AEW Rampage. But thank you so much to Heidi Ho 77 for sending that in. SmackDown was indeed a special show. Alrighty, everybody, let's get right into it, everybody. I am too nice, guys. I'm very nice when I try to bury something, but I'm not trying to bury it, actually. I should rephrase that. Like I said, that's not what I want to do. I know that people, like, here's the thing, guys, and I'll be completely transparent over here. I know people always think like, oh, Denise just wants to bury the product because she's on the AEW payroll, this and that. For those of you guys who watch my shows and follow my interviews and, follow me on Twitter and all of that stuff, I think you guys will know that I'm straightforward in terms of like, I'll say when I don't like something, especially with WWE, but look at me, guys. I went to the WWE pop-up shop and spent $72 on 2 t-shirts. I got the WWE Championship here. The freaking construction girl hat. I'm a mark. All right. With that being said, this show sucked. It sucked really bad. And I feel bad, but my goodness, and I've said this before, if you've been here before, you know what I'm about to say. I should not, and I repeat, I should not be enjoying NXT 2.0 more than SmackDown. What is that, guys? That is nuts. That is nuts when you think about that. Like, really, let that hit you. For the last couple of weeks, I have been enjoying NXT 2.0 more than SmackDown. That is not good. That's not the way it should be. SmackDown is, on Fox. It's one of the, biggest shows. Like, what the heck? But they have, since the draft, legitimately since the draft and how, slim the roster is, it is crazy to see how, so much means so little. If it's not Roman Reigns, if it doesn't have to do with Roman Reigns, there's nothing there. I mean, aside maybe from obviously, the women's championship program and, Roman and the men's championship program, everything outside of that is nothing. There's nothing there to get excited about. And if I wanted to, I could legitimately give you a 5-minute review on what we watched today on SmackDown. However, I'm going to try to give you, at least a couple of minutes here. But there really isn't much. And that really sucks. Okay. It really sucks. So let's get right into this. Let's get right into this show, everybody. Let's get into this. All right. So this is where we get some hot stuff, or not even hot stuff. What am I talking about? We're opening up the show with Roman Reigns, who is hot stuff. Let's be real. Hot stuff. I love Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes in. We have Paul Heyman. I don't know how many minutes he talked for, but he talked for a long time. He's basically recapping why he, helped out Roman Reigns during that freaking match. He talks about everything that went down with, basically everything that went down at the Royal Rumble. He covers that. Okay. He buries Brock Lesnar. He basically says Brock Lesnar is a schmuck, and he buried everything about Brock Lesnar, even the way that he looks. He says that Roman Reigns is a proved that a goat can always slay a beast. He then goes on to say that that Roman Reigns offered him the hand of forgiveness, the hand of love, the hand of family, the hand of the bloodline, the hand of acknowledgement, and that he handed Roman Reigns the WWE Championship. On top of that, he says that Brock will acknowledge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And this is where this was probably the most interesting part of the show, because this is where we get a little bit of a little bit of controversy here. And by controversy, I mean that everybody's favorite, Goldberg, is back. This was reported earlier in the day by Fightful that he would be here on SmackDown. He mentioned that he was basically slated to be appearing on Elimination Chamber and kind of all of that good stuff, right? So Sean did report that earlier on Fightful Select. And so, a lot of us that were watching SmackDown went into this with the heads up of, hey, we're most likely going to be seeing Goldberg today. And we did see Goldberg. And let me start off by prefacing that you all know that I like Goldberg. I'm a Goldberg fan. You all know that. And even I cannot get on board with this. And the reason why I feel like I cannot get on board with this is because it doesn't make sense anymore, guys. I get it. This was a match that was supposed to happen. They talked about that we're supposed to get, Goldberg and Roman Reigns and all of that good stuff. We know this, but in terms of the story that we're seeing, this doesn't make sense to keep giving him all of these title shots when, he keeps losing there. He keeps losing those title shots. It's very been there, done that, especially with these, Saudi Arabia shows and whatnot. The best use of Goldberg is literally putting him in those explosive matches with guys like Dolph Ziggler. That is a phenomenal use of Goldberg. But lately, we haven't been seeing necessarily stuff that has been, driving people nuts or whatnot. So Goldberg basically comes out and he tells Roman Reigns that he is going to acknowledge Roman Reigns, that he is going to acknowledge that he is going to be his next opponent. So it is official. We are going to be seeing Roman Reigns versus Goldberg at Elimination Chamber. One good thing to add about this, for those that don't want to see Goldberg anymore, in an interview recently, I think a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, Goldberg did state that he has one match left in his contract. Obviously, that's the contract that he currently has. He can always, sign up and do more. But as of right now, he did say in that interview that he has one match left. And here's the thing, guys. I like Goldberg. I'm a Goldberg fan. But even this, I have to agree with the people that are just kind of like, we're done, bro. We're done. Let's see what people are saying here. Let's send in your super chat, send in your comments. Let's see what's going on. This one is from Heidi Ho 77, who says, I would rather watch bad wrestling than boring wrestling. WWE and AEW are both boring tonight, and that sucks. Thank you so much to Heidi Ho 77 for also sending in your super chat. If you too want to get your question, comment, or statement read on this stream, send it in. All right, let's see what we got here, guys. Let's get some comments in here. Let's see what people are saying. And Leonard Aaron says, crud, I was hoping to avoid the WWE chatter. Sorry. We usually kick it off with SmackDown, then work our way into Rampage. And let's go through a couple more comments. And this is from Cadillac Carson, who says, to be fair, Goldberg versus Roman never happened due to the pandemic. And this is from Killer Mike 375, who says, I can't help but think of the racks of stars that Roman's title reign has made. And let's go ahead and continue on, everybody. Oh, the lack of stars. Excuse me. I read that comment wrong. The lacks of stars that the Roman title reign has made. All right. Well, let's continue on, everybody. So that's what we got. We're getting Roman Reigns and Goldberg at Elimination Chamber. Should be a good time. Should be a good time. All right, and this definitely was not a good time, and I'm not going to spend very much time on this. I'm going to speed through this because nobody cares. Ridge Holland versus Ricochet. This was an extremely quick match. Cesaro and Sheamus started arguing when Ricochet ended up using a small package on Holland, got the win, and they made Ridge Holland look like a giant dork with this loss. I'm sorry, but Ridge Holland, man, I legitimately thought, like, okay, this is going to be one of the guys that, like, when he goes to SmackDown, they're going to push him. Look at the way that he looks. He looks great. We need challengers for Roman Reigns. Ridge Holland's going to be one of those people. He lost this match and he looked like a big time jobber. So that was very unfortunate. And I like Ridge Holland too while I'm at it. Like, I think if Ridge Holland was gonna lose, at least give us an actual match here. Like, this was beyond quick, nothing special there. This then basically led into a tag team match, which was Ricochet and Cesaro teaming up with Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Most of this match kind of happened in the commercial break. We came back and I was like, oh shit, we're having a tag team match? Shit, I didn't even know. So I was like, all right, here we go. We're watching this tag team match. This was a very quick match too. The finish came when Cesaro gave Sheamus a superplex, and then from there, we see Holland make the blind tag. He then hits a power slam on Cesaro and ends up getting the win for his team. So I guess he kind of redeemed himself there. But again, this was a rather quick match. Nothing really to talk about there. Another quick match that we got was Eric versus Jimmy Uso. As you guys know, at Elimination Chamber, we are going to be seeing the Viking Raiders versus the Usos, and Jimmy Uso wins this match. Nothing there either. We got a super chat. This one is from Mike Parker. Thank you so much to Mike Parker, who says the whole Elimination Chamber card is looking to be filler. So a month of filler until the real road to WrestleMania begins. I get what you mean by this, but I'm actually looking forward to the Elimination Chamber match. I think that given all of the guys that are in that match, I think it's going to be a good one. So I'm legit looking forward to that Elimination Chamber match. So I wouldn't say like I'm looking forward to it. Just know that I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much to Mike for also sending in this super chat. All right. Aaliyah versus Natalia. So this has been going on for a while. They've been doing the whole Guinness World Record story. Aaliyah did her fastest win victory in WWE history with 3.17 seconds. And this has not been the greatest. And the reason this has not been the greatest is, one, they've been making Natalia look very, very silly during this. She's been losing in all of these really weird ways. And this was probably the strangest one. And the reason I say that is because, like, obviously we've seen people get counted out before in the past, right? Natalia gets counted out in this match, but I'm like, Natalia, with the way that she's been presented on television, she's this badass wrestler with like a lot of, with a lot of knowledge and wrestling, and she's good at her job and she's a good wrestler and this and that. You're telling me that she forgot that she could get counted out in a match? Like, she doesn't know the rules? And so that's basically the story here. It's almost like if Natalia doesn't know the rules, and we all know that that's not true. So I haven't been able to get into this whole Aaliyah Natalia thing because it's just too goofy, too outrageous, too hard to believe. But anyways, they did give Aaliyah a lot in this match. This was probably her longest match that I've like ever seen from her. And she lands a couple of shots on Natalia, and she ends up getting the win here. And next week, we are going to be seeing a rematch of this Natalia versus Aaliyah in a pinfall or submissions only match. All right, we got another super chat from Heidi Ho 77 who says, for what it's worth, they're advertising Roman versus Drew for the Universal title when SmackDown comes to Alabama March 11th. I think if we've learned anything about that stuff is that it really doesn't matter, but take it for what it's worth. We got another super chat from Sheldon Jackson who says, I honestly just want Cesaro to request his release and either reform the Kings of Wrestling with Chris Hero or become a world champion somewhere. Well, given what's going on with Mustafa Ali, I can't necessarily say that requesting your release is going to get you anywhere. Again, based off of, what we're seeing happen with Mustafa Ali. We got another super chat from Mario Morales who says, I'm just here to acknowledge Denise. Damn right. The head of the streaming platform. I couldn't think of anything besides anything. Thank you so much, Mario Man. I really appreciate you sending in this super chat. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. And this is a comment that I do want to read. This one's from Young Blood Ginger in regards to Natalia, who says, I feel bad for her. She's been so willing to put others over that her credibility as a heart is getting lackluster. And this is true. She is legit. She has helped like so many women on that roster. And like, she's somebody that like, you have respect for her because of her name and because of the work that she's done, and you know that she's good. But the storyline that they've given her and that they have given her in the past has not been, for somebody of her caliber, that's not the storylines that we should be getting for her. She should be treated, I think, on the levels that you get, you know, how you see, you know, your Baileys and your Sashas and your Charlottes. Natalia, in my opinion, should have been on that level a long time ago, and they haven't necessarily. They've trained you to think that she's like a notch below, you know? So I do feel bad for her there. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and continue on. After this, we got Drew McIntyre. He acknowledges his return from the Royal Rumble. And this was hilarious, actually. I actually laughed at this a lot because Drew McIntyre says, the doctor told me that I wouldn't be in the Royal Rumble, but I told that doctor to kiss my ass. I don't know why, but that absolutely popped me. Sue me. I thought that was hilarious. Afterwards, we have Happy Corbin coming out. Happy Corbin tries to distract Drew McIntyre so that Madcap Moss can attack him from behind, but Drew McIntyre is one step ahead and blocks Madcap Moss with the sword, and he's like, no, not happening today. And so Drew McIntyre makes him tell a joke. He tells a joke. No one laughs. Okay, whatever. Drew clotheslines him and warns Happy Corbin that he's going to punish him. And let me just say, Drew McIntyre deserves better. That's all. Yeah, and he really said more like, kiss my arse. Sean Martano says, Happy Corbin. I just called Happy Corbin a whore. Oh my God, it's been a long day, everybody. Thank you so much to Sean for making me laugh there. All right, let's get into this. Afterwards, we got a red carpet footage from Sami Zayn being kicked out of the Jackass Forever premiere in Los Angeles. They were in beautiful Hollywood Boulevard, right outside the Chinese theater. I wanted to go, guys, to that, but I didn't apply for that. And because I didn't know that they were going to have Sami Zayn there. And I found out like literally the day of, and I was like, shit, I should have applied to that, but I didn't. And so I dropped it. I dropped the ball there. I really did. All right. Anyways, let's see what we got here. We got, oh God. All right. So, I think this was the point of the show where I was really feeling like that's it. I don't know what else to say. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal for a championships contender match. We already know that championship contenders match don't mean anything. Shinsuke Nakamura has literally been so reduced on this roster that I was legitimately such a big fan of Shinsuke Nakamura. Now I don't care what he does on the show. I have no interest. I'm just like, zone the hell out. And then you put him in a match against Jinder Mahal. Bless Jinder Mahal's heart, but nobody has any interest in that. So we had Shinsuke versus Jinder in a championship contenders match. And this made no sense because you have Shinsuke Nakamura win this with the Kinshasa. Why couldn't he just defend the Intercontinental Championship? Why couldn't he just defend it, defeat Jinder Mahal, and we could move on with our day? That broke me. I think that broke me. That broke me for today, guys. Naomi will face Charlotte next week on SmackDown. We also got Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Los Lotharios. But if you've been watching SmackDown, you know that they've essentially been also reducing Los Lotharios. They basically told us they're like a nobody tag team with the booking that they've done with them. And so it gives you no reason to care about this match when you know that Los Lotharios don't necessarily mean anything on the roster. Big E and Kofi get the win. All right, let's get into this last segment of SmackDown. And then we'll jump into AEW Rampage. We got Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. This was fun, actually. This was fun. I liked this. This was a good little, interaction between both of these women. I was a fan of this. So Charlotte comes out and, she's talking about picking Sasha Banks, etc., blah, 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 addressing the Royal Rumble, all of that good stuff. Ronda Rousey comes out and Ronda basically starts saying how, being a mom has changed her. And she talks about that for a little bit. And then she says to Charlotte that she owes her an ass beating. And so during this BTW, because I think a lot of people were wondering like how this was all going to play out between Charlotte and Ronda. Ronda's definitely the babyface in here. People are definitely booing Charlotte. So FYI, in case you weren't sure about that. And then Ronda Rousey basically looks at Charlotte and she says, "I'll see you at WrestleMania, bitch." So we got the BITCH word. And after this, there's a really great line from Charlotte Flair, which I absolutely loved. I cackled extremely loud at this. And Charlotte Flair lifts up the SmackDown Women's Championship and she says, "This title is my baby, and my baby is prettier than yours." It killed me. It absolutely killed me because I had no idea she was going to say that. You do not throw a shot at a woman's child. You do not throw a shot at anybody's child. And a one woman telling another woman that her daughter is ugly, that is mean. That is mean stuff. That is hitting below the belt. So I loved it. It was good stuff there. Afterwards, we see Ronda put the arm bar on Sonya Deville after Sonya Deville got in her face. And we just get a little stare down between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. So it is official at WrestleMania 38. We will be seeing Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. What do you guys think? Are you interested in this match? Let me know. Send in your thoughts, and then we'll get right into AEW Rampage. Let's see what people are saying. We got people putting over Charlotte Flair, for having a lot of good lines, and I completely agree with all of that. Dave says, "Baby Rousey buried sadly." Damn, I know. I don't know how old Baby Rousey is. I think she's like a couple months old, but she already got burned. Anyways, I don't even think I've seen a picture of Ronda's baby, but I'm sure she's adorable. I haven't seen her, but I'm sure she's adorable. But it's still pretty damn hilarious though. And let's see what we got here. People are putting out that Ronda got a bit confident. I think she looked good. She was I felt more interested during this conversation between Charlotte and Ronda than I did between Becky and Ronda, which is surprising, right? But I think just the conversation wise, I was a little bit more interested in Charlotte and Ronda there. We got a super chat from Heidi Ho 77 who says, "Baby on a pole match confirmed." Dude, it would have been funny if it was like Becky and Ronda, and Becky was like, "My baby is prettier than your baby. Your baby is not going to go to a good school." I don't know. What do moms say? How do moms attack other moms? Your baby is just not as good on math as my baby is. I don't know. I don't know any mom drama. All right, let's move on, everybody. But there you go. That was SmackDown for today. And I'm so glad that I was able to extend that to at least a way longer than a 5-minute review. All right, let's get into AEW Rampage. Before I do, just a friendly reminder to everybody that next week, as always, I will be back here once again. Tuesday, I'll be here to talk about NXT 2.0, which has been shaping up, everybody. It's been shaping up. I'll also be here to talk about AEW Dynamite, which is going to be interesting because apparently there's going to be a Tony Khan announcement. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then I will be back once again to talk about SmackDown and Rampage. But let's get into this AEW Rampage show and let's talk about what actually went down. So we had the opening match was Evil Uno versus Adam Cole. This was a very quick match. And I just thought, man, this is a night of quick matches, man. But with all fairness, this is the way this match should have been. Like Evil Uno, bless his heart, I'm a fan of him. He's obviously not at the level of Adam Cole. So clearly, Adam Cole is going to come in and whoop his butt. And that's what we saw. We saw Cole essentially start this match up fast, hit him with a pump kick, and literally continues on the entire time. We do see Uno come back with a hanging neck breaker and a clothesline. But then right after this, we pretty much get the finish. We get a high knee, a super kick, and then the boom for the actual finish. So this is the way that this match should have been, because Adam Cole is obviously, a couple levels higher up. But post-match, let's talk about this post-match stuff, because after this, we get a promo from Adam Cole, and he basically mentions all the guys that he has beaten, his undefeated run, says he hasn't, mentions the loss to Orange Cassidy, but basically saying, it doesn't count. We already knew that. We already knew they were going to hammer that home, which they did. And then he goes on to say that he is going to be a new and different Adam Cole, that he is going to be ruthless, and that he wants respect. On top of this, he basically goes on to say that he is the best in the world, not just on AEW, but in the whole entire planet of filled with wrestlers, that he is the best. And he says he's going to be the new AEW World Champion. Alrighty, good stuff. Nothing much else to add there, but let's go ahead and get some thoughts in here, guys. Let's see what people are saying. This one's a comment from Andrew Cook, who says that was exactly the kind of match Cole needed to start a serious run at the title. You guys already know that I was in love with seeing Orange Cassidy pin Adam Cole. You guys already know that. I wasn't necessarily a big fan of that. I just think that Adam Cole, he's just on a higher level, and I think that he should be continued to be treated that way. And I think this isn't necessarily what I would have expected. This is not what I have expected for him in AEW. I think I would have expected something a little bit more along the lines of what we get. Not at the same level of Bryan Danielson, and I get it. Not at the same level as Bryan Danielson, a little bit different than CM Punk, but still somewhere up there in terms of the way that he is booked on the show. But that's just my personal opinion on that. And let's see what we got here. We got some people basically also not a fan of this. This is from Sean Williams, who says Adam Cole lost all respect after losing to Pockets. This is a comment from the Centrovert, who says, I know for sure Adam Cole has been hearing the critiques of him, Cole looking too small or out of shape and being surrounded by goofy people versus his time in NXT. Also, I think it was a couple of days ago, but Adam Cole did put something out about social media and not really letting it define who you are and defining your life and all of that. So I did think that was, a good thing that he put out there, because I'm sure he's definitely seen all of that criticism. To be honest, I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen people say anything about that, but that's just me being out of the loop, clearly. But let's go ahead and continue on, everybody, from here, but we'll continue on as we go into our next topic here. Friendly reminder, everybody, if you want to make sure you get your question, comment, or statement read on the air, you can send in a super chat. But let's get into Jade Cargill, because Jade Cargill had a nice little promo here. She mentions that she's 26-0. She's looking for her 27th opponent to essentially beat. And she had a line in here where she addresses, people saying that she's green. And she says, I am green, but I'm green like money. And I thought, all right, girl, I get it. She still is green, but there you go. She's still the champion. She's 27-0. She's been improving. That's all there really is to say about that. There really isn't anything much to say. And let's get into the TNT Championship, which was Sammy Guevara versus Isaiah Cassidy. So let's get into this. What did I want to say about this? All right. So as this match is going on, we get Andrade, who comes out. Andrade comes out and he basically kind of distracts Sammy for a bit during this match. And it kind of works. It kind of works in the beginning, because you see Isaiah Cassidy essentially hit a backstabber on Sammy Guevara. You see him hit the backstabber, but it ends up being a near fall. Immediately afterwards, they give Isaiah Cassidy a lot during this match. You see him hit a stunner. You see him hit a tope suicida, a senton on Sammy. He goes for another pin, and it's another near fall. We then see a really awesome springboard moonsault from Sammy Guevara, and then a springboard cutter. Really love that, but it's another near fall, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, they're actually giving Isaiah Cassidy all of these moments to look really good. So good for him on that. Sammy ends up hitting the GTH and ends up getting the win for this match. So good. I do wish that they would have given that he has all the tape, around the ribs and the midsection and all of that, I do wish that they would have had him sell that just a little bit more, especially considering that, brutal match that he had with Cody Rhodes. So I would have liked, story-wise, to maybe see a little bit more of that incorporated into this match. But regardless, Sammy Guevara is doing some phenomenal stuff as TNT champion. But let's talk about the post-match stuff that essentially goes down here. So we see Andrade get in the ring, and, all his guys are essentially, staring down, Sammy Guevara here. And immediately we get Darby Allin. Darby Allin comes running in, and I'm thinking, what? Do not send Darby Allin where Andrade is without adult supervision. The man wants to kidnap him. What are you doing? By the way, you know what? Sting's a terrible father. He knows that this man wants to kidnap him, kidnap his son, and he's just leaving them all alone. Anyways, that's a joke, everybody. All right, so we see Darby Allin come in, and for like a hot second, he kind of aligns himself with Sammy Guevara, just pretty much to like help, basically ward off those guys. So those guys leave, they jam, and then immediately afterwards, he turns around. They have this face-off between Sammy and Darby Allin, and Darby's literally just like this, looking at the belt. So, my friends, are we going to be getting Darby and Sammy? We've seen them wrestle before, but let's talk about this for a second, because Darby Allin is a former TNT champion, one of my favorite TNT champions, and he has his eye on the belt once again. But Sammy Guevara is kind of starting to make a name for himself as TNT champion. He's had a little bit of a rocky start in terms of like, losing the belt, getting the belt back. But, he's starting to get the ball rolling again. I don't want to see Sammy lose the belt just yet, but I also don't want to see Darby lose to Sammy here. So this is going to be interesting, at least I think, because again, you had this, dominant TNT champion in Darby Allin, and this kind of soon to be possibly dominant champion in Sammy Guevara. So I'm hot for this. I'm interested. You have my attention there. What do you guys think? Go ahead and send in your thoughts here. This is a super chat from Steven Petrovelli. Thank you so much to Steven, who says, I really hope Adam Cole's promo and the mention of the wrestling world leads to an interaction with Jay White. I would mark the hell out for that. So I can't necessarily disagree with this whatsoever. And I've been a fan of Jay White for a long time. Even when the IWC wasn't behind him, I always knew he was going to be a damn star. Anyways, thank you so much to Steven Petrovelli for sending in that super chat. All right, we got another one from Heidi Ho, who says, oh no, Sell Sammy, LOL. He's great, but needs to learn the art of selling. Yeah, and I do agree with that. I do agree with that statement for a bit there. Yeah, I agree. Especially given the fact that, again, he came off of that, like I said, brutal match with Cody Rhodes, dude. Like, that match was insane, everybody. Sean Martino says Andrade needs to buy the kid. Hey, man, he's got options. He could buy Sammy. He could buy Darby. AEW roster full. He could buy quite a few people. Let's see what else we got, guys. All right, let's go ahead and DK says Denise making the tough booking decisions. Man, if only I had a bank account like Tony Khan, it'd be fabulous. All right, definitely my bank account is nowhere near Tony Khan's bank account. It is. I mean, I pretty much look like I have nothing in comparison. Negative. I'm in negative compared to Tony Khan. We all are. I mean, unless there's like a secret like billionaire watching the show, I think we are all on the same boat here. All right, let's go ahead and move on, everybody. So after Darby and Isaiah Cassidy and all of this, we get a quick attack. Layla Hirsch attacks Chris Statlander backstage. Good stuff. They've been feuding for a hot second there. I love it. I'm a fan of this. I've already put that over. But let's get into Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez, because here we go. Like, I was going to come on here and be like, you know what? They should have, like, for me, I think heading into this match, all of those, promos that they cut on each other, those were all fine and dandy, right? But I kept thinking, like, man, there's still so much more that they could do with Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. Like, there's such a story there. And I kind of felt like the lead up to the match was just a tad bit underwhelming. I think that they could have done so much more, right? And that's what I was planning on coming out here and saying, because that's what I was thinking about heading into this match. So then the match starts off, Thunder Rosa comes in and she is like red hot, like super fiery, comes in, shotgun drop kick to the face of Mercedes Martinez, like right away. We see Mercedes Martinez and her go to the outside. She hits her with a suplex, really nice stuff there. We see a spine buster on Thunder Rosa, and this match is continuing on, right? And then out of nowhere, freaking Mercedes Martinez just gets the freaking pipe and just smacks the living shit out of Thunder Rosa. It was crazy. And I just thought, like, damn, like, it was one of those moments where I was really like, I really dig that. I think the way that Mercedes Martinez did it, it just looks so impactful. So with that being said, I was like, okay, like normally I'm not a fan of these like DQs, but I liked this, and I liked this immediately, right? And I liked it even more afterwards because of the post-match stuff that we got. So immediately when she hit her with the pipe, I'm like, all right, cool. We're continuing the story, which means now they have this opportunity. Now they have this window where they can do so much more storytelling with Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa, right? Like, these are two badass girls that could literally and they have like, a nice little history. They've worked together before, like multiple times in matches and whatnot. So you want to see that. Like, I want to see more storytelling in this, all right? So, okay, that's the match portion. But then afterwards, we end up going to the back. We end up getting a Tony Schiavone is interviewing Mercedes Martinez, right? So basically, she's there with the pipe. And immediately afterwards, Britt Baker comes in, and all of a sudden, we find out that Britt Baker was essentially that freaking Mercedes Martinez was in cahoots with Britt Baker, because Britt Baker paid her to essentially take out Thunder Rosa. She wanted Mercedes Martinez not just to, get DQ'd, but to take her out and keep her away from going after Britt's championship. And I'm thinking, hell freaking yes, because we've all been wondering, like, when are they going to circle back to Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker? Like, when is this going to happen? I've literally been sitting here thinking, like, they need to do more with Britt Baker as AEW World Champion, right? Women's World Champion. Like, I've been talking about this, right? And I've been saying, like, we need to get, I've been saying a bunch of stuff, whatever, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yes, this is good. And the reason this is good is because, all right, we now have something that indicates that, hey, we are going to be returning to this. Like, we all knew was going to happen at some point. We just didn't really know exactly when. Thunder Rosa was off doing all the TBS championship stuff. Britt Baker was off doing her own thing as champion. So now we are starting to see that path reconnect. But on top of that, I like this because there's multiple things here. There's a lot that these women can do. So on one hand, you have Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa, who are essentially going to be doing their thing together. And like I said, they could do so much storytelling there, right? And then on the other hand, you have this like rift that has been brewing for a bit now with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. So you could literally have Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter do their thing while Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez are doing their thing to eventually lead back into Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. So for me, like, I like all of these little layers of like, not even layers, like all these interweaving of these, stories kind of mixed in together. And then on top of that, you can also do like Mercedes Martinez and Britt Baker, Mercedes Martinez and Jamie Hayter. Like, there's just a lot of possibility there. And that's what makes me excited. So for me, like, this whole entire thing I thought was pretty exciting just because I felt, okay, we have a clear direction and we have multiple avenues in which we could go here to make for some, excellent storytelling and also some good matches, because all of these women are definitely capable of providing those matches as we have seen before. So I was excited for this. This was good. We got a super chat. Thank you so much to Briz Lion Gooner for sending in a super chat. I really thank you for it, man. We got another one from Briz Lion Gamer who says, I'm about $9 billion behind Tony Khan. Damn, Briz. You know what? It'd be my dream, though. I will say this. Like, it would be my dream if, like, some billionaire was like, you know what? I'm going to tune into this girl's show, tunes in and says, you know what? I like Denise. Here's like $1 million. And let's be real, billionaire can afford it. But actually, it would kind of suck, though, because he'd give me $1 million and then, like, YouTube would take, like, 30% of that. I mean, I don't care. It would still be amazing, right? But anyways, thank you so much to Briz Lion Gooner. Great. Now I'm off daydreaming about a secret billionaire coming into my show. We got a super chat from Mike Parker who says, I like the story, but want Mercedes Martinez be more like a hired thug. I like the story, but want Mercedes Martinez to be more than a hired thug. She's just so good. But I think she'll play the part right. Because not only will she have that feud, continue that feud with Thunder Rosa, but she can also have beef with Britt Baker for essentially being like, you didn't think I got the job done? Well, you know what? I'm gonna get the job done on you and turn my back on you once I'm done with Thunder Rosa. So like I said, like there's different avenues that they can essentially go in this direction. But thank you so much to Mike Parker for going ahead and sending this in. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and continue on here. And let's see what people are saying. We got a lot of people that are big Jamie Hayter fans. People have been seriously, they've been fans of her from like the very beginning, I can tell. So that's interesting too. Good for her. And this is a comment from the Santrover who says, I love that they're making Mercedes a big part of it. Looks like Jamie Hayter will play a part too. Amazing swerve. Agree. Yeah, I completely agree. And we got people saying that Thunder will be the next champion. She's great. I do hope she'll be the next champion. Be very exciting. Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and move on from this. Alrighty, everybody. So there was also an announcement made that Tony Khan will be making an announcement on AEW Dynamite. So I know that there was a tweet sent out by Tony Khan where he said that he was going to be making an announcement tonight. But then it ended up being that the announcement's going to be on Dynamite. So I was like, all right, cool. All right, well, I don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, so we got people, I asked people like, hey, what do you think? Like, what's this going to be? We got people that are, talking about the Owen Cup, that being a possibility. And I think that's a very good possibility. A lot of the other comments I saw, just a tad bit out there, but we got a lot of Shane McMahon is all elite. And I'm like, all right, let's have fun with it, whatever. We also have people maybe suggesting a trios championship. We got people bringing up when they're going to announce the West Coast shows, etc. So there's also people saying, what about Keith Lee? That was also reported that he had been having conversations with AEW. All right, so we kind of have a bunch of little things that people are, basically saying like this is going to be the announcement, but we still don't know. We'll find out on Dynamite what the announcement is going to be. Someone says, check Tony Khan's latest tweet. What did I miss? What? I missed something? Why does this always happen on my shows? Hold on. I'm going on Twitter. 1 second, everybody. Why does this always happen to me? Always when I'm on the freaking show. Oh, okay. Hold on. There's a few actually. Oh shit. All right. Hold on. Let me start. Where are we at? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to make sure where I left off. Okay. Hold on. So Tony Khan says, as referenced on AEW Rampage, I have a surprise on AEW Dynamite live on TBS Network. A top wrestler will walk through the Forbidden Door live this Wednesday and debut in AEW. More info to come. Thank you to everyone who joined us for Rampage, blah, blah, blah. Next tweet says, the Forbidden Door can be opened for anyone from any wrestling promotion in the world, whether or not it's a company AEW is on good terms with. Even if it's someone from a company that's open for business, they're also welcome to slam the door in the face of their prior company. Hold on, I need to reread this for a second, guys. I need to reread this for a second. The Forbidden Door can be opened from anyone in any wrestling. Start all over. The Forbidden Door can be opened for anyone from any wrestling promotion in the world, whether or not it's a company AEW is on good terms with. Even if it's someone from a company that's open for business, they're also welcome to slam the door in the face of their prior company. Keke? Well, what? What is happening? Okay, and then with a great showing in tonight's AEW Rampage, TNT title, oh my God. With a great showing in tonight's AEW Rampage TNT title bout, Isaiah Cassidy has earned a qualifying match for a spot in the face of the Revolution ladder match with a TNT title shot at stake. His opponent will debut Wednesday, plus sign a contract with AEW. Isaiah versus question mark. Well, Jesus Christ, what is happening here? I don't know what to say. See, the second tweet here is what has me a little bit, rattled just a bit here, where he's talking about they're also welcome to slam the door in the face of their prior company. Well, okay. Let's get some thoughts here, guys. What do you think? Where are we going with this? What the hell is happening? Lord Pelagius says, so you assume it's got to be a big name and they presumably are going straight to the title shot. Well, he did say here a top wrestler will walk through the forbidden door this Wednesday. So a top wrestler, I mean, unless like he's over exaggerating, apparently it's a top wrestler. So there you go. And then, the person is essentially, well, here's the thing that's a little bit unclear. You have the person coming in. I mean, you either have one person coming in through the forbidden door. Okay, great. I don't know if the same person is also going to be the person that debuts to have this match with Isaiah Cassidy to essentially get to be part of the face of the Revolution ladder match for the TNT title shot. I mean, for all we know, this could be two totally different people. Like, this could be like one person and another person, or it could be the same person debuting like this. Let's see. I don't know, guys. Jesus. I think there's a lot of people here throwing names. Shane O'Mac, baby, Jeff Hardy. Someone says based off of his verbiage, Mustafa Ali. Lenny Banner says the person who is coming in is signing a deal and going to be wrestling. Darth Steven, Shockmaster confirmed. I legitimately, guys, do not know what the hell is happening anymore. This is very, very exciting to see, but I'm kind of seeing a couple more of your guys' comments here as to who you think this might be. I mean, there's a lot of someone put, what the fuck is this, yo? I don't know. I do think, like, personally, so Heidi Ho 77 sends in a super chat saying Shane McMahon to AEW confirmed. God. I'm just going to say that someone says Killer Cross. I don't think it's going to be Killer Cross. If I had to just put a couple of guesses out there, I would probably guess, we still have, Johnny Gargano still a question mark, right? Keith Lee. There was rumblings about him. Who else is out there? Let's see. There's a lot of people that, were recently released. Jesus. And I'm looking at this. Actually, I have my release list here somewhere. Oh my God. Jesus. All right. So the ones that got released when okay, see, like a lot of people got released when like Keith Lee got released. Those names are the names that got released when Keith Lee got released: Nia Jax, Eva Marie, Mia Yim, Harry Smith, Karrion Kross, Lindsay Dorado, Grand Metalik, Jeet Rama, Katrina Cortez, Trey Baxter, Zeta Ramir, Jessica Mea, B-Fab, Oni Lorcan, Amber Moon, Frankie Monet, and Scarlett Bordeaux. So out of these, like just out of those specific names, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross are probably like the top like male names that I would say. And then this is so much fun. We got a super chat from Breeze Lion Gooner who says, if it's Shane McMahon, I'm quitting wrestling altogether. Like, see, here's the thing, like, about this, like, this whole Shane thing, like, you just don't know, like, what to believe. I think there's, like, so much stuff, like, being reported, and there's so many things that you just don't know. Like, you don't know if, like, stuff is true, if people are trying to run a smear campaign. Like, you just don't know, right? So, like, for me, personally, like, let's just say Shane McMahon shows up on AEW, like, that shit is newsworthy as hell. So I'm excited as hell for that. But mainly just for like the newsworthy aspect of it. But everything after that, I don't know. Alrighty, guys. Someone also mentioned Swerve Scott. That's definitely somebody as well to be named. Alrighty, everybody. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I don't even know what's going on this show anymore. I've lost control of my own show. I haven't even talked about the main event. Everybody completely, like, I got thrown the hell off of this. Let's get into this let's finish AEW Rampage, everybody. These tweets, these news stuff needs to not break when I'm on this stream. Mike Parker says he could be exaggerating unless it's Jeff Hardy or Bray. Thank you. I was thinking of Bray Wyatt, and I forgot to mention Bray Wyatt as well, and Jeff Hardy too. Remember, he pumped up Big Show and Christian as main event acquisitions. That was interesting too, guys. That was an interesting period. Thank you so much to Mike for setting that in. We got a comment from Amber Moret who says, WTF, I'm literally losing it. Keith Lee, Gargano, Ember Moon, brief Denise. I can't say this. Never mind. Ooh, it was about Ember Moon. She's great. I love her, by the way. I'm very excited to see that match that she's going to be having with Thunder Rosa at Warrior Wrestling. That's going to be phenomenal. But anyways, thank you so much to Amber Moret for sending in this comment, because I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I just don't know what to think. Killer Mike says, Denise said, fuck it. We have no idea what's going on anymore. This show has gone out the window, everybody. All right, let's see. I'm going to stop talking and get right into this main event. FTW Championship, Jay Lethal versus Ricky Starks. I liked this. Well, first of all, I like the story heading into this, because Jay Lethal basically told Ricky Starks, like, dude, this is not a recognized championship, but I want to have this championship just because I know that it's going to hurt you personally. And I'm like, that's a good reason to want something, right? You just want to hurt this person. All right, great. Cool. The match itself, I thought was pretty decent. It was enjoyable. I didn't think, it wasn't my favorite Jay Lethal match that I've seen in AEW. But it was still a pretty good match. I think that Ricky Starks, man, he really deserved this win. And I'm not just maybe deserves not the right word. No. He needed this win. He needed a win like this, because the last time that he defended the FTW championship was at Battle of the Belts against Matt Sydal, right? And his FTW championship reign and just everything that he's had, and, due to his injury in AEW and all of that kept him off, from really doing a lot on the show. And I feel like he is legitimately somebody that I think people tend to forget to bring his name up when you're talking about, matchups and people that you want to see, do really well in AEW. So sometimes I feel like he's somebody that people forget to mention. And I'm like, dude, Ricky Starks, he is so good on the mic. And I feel because you have, people like MJF and Eddie Kingston who are phenomenal on the mic, that you tend to forget about other people, again, like Ricky Starks. And so sometimes I feel like he's forgotten about, and I saw a couple of people on Twitter that were saying Jay Lethal needs to win. And I'm like, no, it needs to be Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks needs this. He needs a dominant victory. He needs to be somebody more on the show. I don't know how else to get at that, but they just need to do more with him, right? And so for me, having this main event match and having him win, I thought was a big win for him. So I'm excited about that. And I mean, other than that, there was some good, obviously, we saw him essentially get the help of, Powerhouse Hobbs. We saw Powerhouse Hobbs, kind of help in there and, do a little bit of double team work on the outside. During this match, we also saw Dante Martin literally come the hell out of nowhere. And he goes to the top rope and he literally just does a big ass freaking cross body on Powerhouse Hobbs and takes him out. That was pretty impressive. The match itself was fine. We saw a couple of, we saw a lot of tope suicidas from Jay Lethal. I think we saw we saw two for sure back to back, and maybe one more or so spread out through this match. We saw a couple of strikes between them. That was fun too. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was an okay match. All right, we got a super chat from a Cadillac Carson who says, I like that Starks won clean. He countered Lethal's move, and that, thank you so much for bringing that up. Yes, the finish, loved it. Really, really loved the finish. I thought that Starks, it was an impactful conclusion to the match, where it's one of the things, we talk about these finishes that we see sometimes in wrestling, and sometimes you get a finish that doesn't feel like a finish and you're like, oh, that was it, damn, that sucked. This one really hit the exclamation point. Loved it. So yeah, I do agree with Cadillac Carson who says that he countered Lethal's move and was the better man. Yeah, exactly. Really, really needed that. Thank you so much to Cadillac Carson for also sending that in. And more people are putting over that finish to that match. Agree. Alrighty, everybody, there you go. That was WWE SmackDown. That was AEW Rampage, and a couple of news bits thrown in there. Seriously, everybody, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show 3 times a week. I know it's a lot, but there's a lot of wrestling to talk about. There's a lot going on in the wrestling world, period. So I do want to thank you guys so much for choosing my show to come on here and to check it out and whatnot. On top of that, really quickly, everybody, I do want to promote my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. So I literally have been dropping an insane amount of interviews. It's kind of been super crazy, but I literally dropped an interview every single day this week except Monday. I dropped one Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I spoke with Peter Avalon. I spoke with, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on everybody that I spoke with. I'm like, who did I speak with? Oh my God. Tasha Steeles. There was just so many people that I talked to this week. It was a lot of really good stuff. Mike Bailey. There was a lot to unpack there. So please go there, go to the YouTube channel. On top of that, I have, additional interviews that I literally dropped the week before and the week prior. There's just a lot up there. So go there, check it out. I have so much more to come on that channel. On Monday, I'm shooting a very, very exciting video. I'm very excited about the one I'm doing on Monday. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet though, but I'm very excited about it because I have 3 very special guests coming on to that show. 3, all people that you guys are, like and whatnot, wrestling personalities, right? And also I have already chosen my guest for Elimination Chamber predictions, and I am so freaking excited that this person said yes, and I cannot wait. It'll be the first time that I ever do a show with this person, and they're going to be with me on my YouTube channel the Thursday before Elimination Chamber to do predictions. There's a lot of stuff in the works, everybody. But other than that, I'll see you guys back next week. Thank you guys so much. As always, have a phenomenal weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye, everyone.